Hello students, myself Ms. Amrita Jadhav, your physics teacher, and I am welcoming you all to part 5, in which we are going to study only about vector product. As you all know that in part 4 we have studied about scalar product. Okay, so it is basically in a similar way we are going to see the vector product, like we are going to see the characteristics and we are going to solve the numericals, and after that we are going to see the differentiation. What is exactly difference between scalar product and vector product? They are actually very much opposite to each other, so that we are going to see in similar way. Okay, so if you haven't gone through the last video, do check and then you come to this session so that you will be very comfortable with this session. Okay, so let's move towards the today's session, which is vector product. Okay, so mathematical equation for this is this. So as I told you yesterday that if we are saying about scalar product, we took a dot inside it, and while we are considering about vector product, it is cross product, right? So I have taken a cross in between them. So again, vector product of two non-zero vector is equal to product of magnitude of both the vectors and sine of angle between them. In scalar product it was the cosine angle, right? And in vector product it is sine angle. Major difference. Okay, so this is the definition and this is the mathematical formation of vector product. What is that? P bar dot q bar is equal to pq sine theta. Now we are going to see what happens when I, j and k, 3 will come together, what exactly happens over there. Okay, so one by one we will see the characteristics of vector product, in which the very first characteristic is, if we are saying p bar cross q bar is the 1, okay, so it is not at all equal to q bar cross p bar, because it doesn't obey the commutative law. It doesn't obey the commutative law. But if you put a mod to both of them, then I can say that these both are equal. That means if I say this to be correct, so this can happen. What is the meaning of this? Bar denotes that we can ignore the sign. So actually when you are multiplying two vectors, this comes out to be in opposite direction. Okay, so to reduce that error we can put a mod to both of them, so that we can say that commutative law can be obeyed, but only when you put a mod to it. What happens to the distributive law? Okay, so let's see. Second, what do you think? Does it satisfy the distributive law? Yes, it will satisfy the distributive law. That means I can say that this p bar cross q bar plus p bar cross r bar. This is the distributive law. It is being obeyed by the vector. Okay, so this is the same thing which is there inside the scalar product also and there inside the vector product also. So this we will not consider while we are studying about the distinguish. Okay, so because these both points are similar in both the products. Okay, let's move towards the third point, which comes out to be for the angle only. Okay, so what is that? So if I consider p bar dot q bar is equal to pq sine theta, right? There should be some cases for theta. What are those cases? 0, 90 and 1, right? So we are going to consider all the three cases and we will see what happens over there. Okay, so the very first condition will take, as I will write here. Okay, so if very first condition, if theta is 0, what is sine 0? Sin 0 is 0 itself. So what we will get? If theta is 180 degree, what is sin 180? 0. So what will be p bar cross q bar? Again it will be 0. When these are anti-parallel. Even if they are parallel, it comes out to be 0. Sorry, it should be 0, right? It should be 0 over here. So if theta is equal to 0, then p bar cross q bar, it should be equal to 0, because sin 0 is 0 itself, and sin pi, that means sin 180 is also 0. So p bar cross q bar is also 0, and p bar cross q bar is also 0 in both the cases, when it is parallel and whenever it is anti-parallel. Okay. Now next one. If theta is equal to 90 degree, what we can say? They are perpendicular, right? P bar and q bar are perpendicular. And what is sin 90? Sin 90 is 1. So we can put instead of this as 1. So whatever I have written by mistake over there was for. So these are the three conditions. When theta is 0, cross product becomes 0. When theta is 180, cross product again becomes 0. When theta becomes 90, cross product is product of their magnitude. Okay, so this is about the special cases of theta. Even if they are asked in exam or in exercise that prove that we have already proven, you can use this also, vector product also. In both way you can show that the vectors, the given vectors are either parallel or perpendicular, whatever they have asked you. Okay, so you can use either scalar or vector product if it is not given in the example. Okay, so what was the next thing which we have done was in terms of I, J and K. So we are going to see this all in terms of I, J and K. So as we all know that we have to write the resolution of P and Q. So we'll write down that first and then we'll multiply all of them. So P bar is Pxi Cyj plus Pzk. Q bar is Qxi Qij Qzk. Is it right? Yes. Now we are going to cross multiply. Okay. So for that we have to know the characteristic which is there to use for I, J and K. So I will just write here what will be I cross I, J cross J, K cross K. Whenever you are studying about scalar product, I dot I, J dot J and K dot K was 1 and otherwise the product was 0. Exactly opposite we are going to say in vector product. What is the meaning of this? I cross I, that means self cross product is always 0. J cross J, self cross product is 0. K cross K, self cross product is 0. Now what happens when they interchanges their position? Means what happens when I cross J is there, J cross K is there, K cross I is there. So I will tell you the next characteristic for that multiplication. So for that you have to remember in such a way that, see, I have drawn a circle, even you can apply the same for this. What I have done is, I am just going to write over here I, here J and here as K. So these are the three which are situated at 3 points on the circle, and it is moving in, the circle is moving in clockwise sense, clockwise, okay, as like the clock is moving. So the motion is clockwise. Now, when it is multiplication of I cross j, okay, as it is moving in clockwise, so it will be the third vector with plus sign. So I cross j will be, what is the third vector? K, and it should have plus sign over there because it is moving in clockwise. Next, what will be j cross k? J cross k. J cross k. It will be the third vector, and as it is moving in clockwise, it will be the plus. So j cross k. What is third? I. Next, k cross I. K cross I. Moving in clockwise sense, it will be the third one, so it will be j. What happens if they move in anti-clockwise sense? What happens over there? We'll see. If I write j cross I, j cross I, it comes out to be negative of the third vector. So it will be this. If this is negative, see? So this is the characteristics which you have to use over here. Okay? So see. Okay, you have to remember all of this. You know, don't need to remember all this. Just remember the circle and clockwise sense. So I cross j is k, j cross k is I, k cross I is j. And inverse it will be negative. Okay, so in that way you just remember this in this way. Okay, so we are going to use all of this in this. So I will first write this cross okay. So one by one, as it satisfies the distributive law, one by one I am going to multiply. That means pxi multiplied by whole bracket, pyj multiplied by whole bracket, pzk multiplied by whole bracket. In that way we are going to see. Okay. So what it will be? It will be see. Cross. Okay, I will write whole. Okay, so in this way I have written all of this. I will just write in proper way. Okay, so this is it. I have just distributed. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to see what happens when I cross I is coming over there. What happens? I cross I is 0, right? So we are going to put the values for that. I will write like this. Okay, in this way I have written number into I terms. Okay, so I am going to write from the whole. Okay, this is for the second bracket. And now for the third. Okay, I'll just recheck. Px qx I cross I, Px qy I cross j, Px qz I cross k. Correct. Py qx j cross I, Py qy j cross j, Py qz j cross k, Pz qx k cross I, Pz qy k cross j, Pz qz k cross k. Now we are going to use all of this inside this. How? Just see. I, j and k self cross product. So this will get cancelled, this will get cancelled, and this will get cancelled. Self cross product becomes 0. Now we will see what happens to this. Okay? So I am going to write it. I will write over here. See, Px qy I cross j is k. Px qy k cap, Px qz I cross k. What is I cross k? Minus j. Okay, next Py qx j cross I, you can see over here, j cross I minus k plus next Py qz, what is there inside bracket? J cross k, jk is plus I. Next Pz qx k cross I, ki will be plus j, Pz qy k cross j opposite way, so it will be minus I. So you can see over here all the components are having two numbers, two components. That means I is having twice, j is twice, k is twice. So we can took common out of them and then we will write what happens over there. Okay, so I will just rub this. So I will get, if I take common I cap, so this I, this I, it will be Py qz minus Pz qy. Is it? Now j plus j, it will be Pz qx minus Px qz plus k cap, this and this, Px qy minus Py qx. So this is the ultimum, this is the final answer of cross product, which is P bar cross Q bar, which is this. If you are not able to remember this, there is one idea to remember over this. Idea is about the trick in mathematics and the concept in mathematics, which is determinant. Okay, so you have to know the concept of determinant first, then you can apply over there. So I will just tell you in short what is determinant. So this is can be also written as I told you, in determinant form. As I will show you here. So P bar cross Q bar is, see, in this way. This is the determinant. So this is one of the form of determinant, and I will show you how to solve it. Okay, so you do not need to remember this formula. You will able to get the formula directly if you put two terms, two components into this. Okay, so this is easier one. You have to put a bar at both the ends. I, J, K is the first row. Second row is Px, Py, Pz, all the components of P vector. Then Qx, Qy, Qz is the second vector. You have to put a row for all of these three. Okay, now how to solve this? Do we get the same answer? So we will recheck it. So this, how to solve it? See, if I wanted the terms which is consisting of I, so I will put I in outside the bracket, and what I am going to do is I am going to ignore the row and column which consisting of the term I. What is the meaning of this? This is the row in which I is there. So I am going to reject that, ignore that. This is the column in which I is existing. So I am going to ignore both of them, and what I am going to do is I am going to cross multiply the remaining four terms. Okay, so what it will be? By cross multiplying Py Qz minus Pz Qy. Py Qz minus Pz Qy. See, it is same one. Next, as it is clockwise, so first, if we are considering first term as plus, second term should be negative. So in this, we have to consider the second, which is J, as negative. Then K will be positive. So we will do in that way. So I will now rub this. Okay. Now we wanted for J, right? So it should be negative, as I told you. Second term should be negative. Now what we are going to ignore is the column and the row which is consisting of J. First row consisting of J, ignore. Second column, ignore. What are the four terms remaining? 1, 2, 3, 4. We are going to cross multiply them. Right, like this. First, you will multiply this and then this. This is most important. Okay, this and then this. So first, Px Qz minus Pz Qx. So this is the second term. So as you can see over here, it will be exactly shuffle up because we have took negative sign outside. You see, Pz Qx and Px Qz. It is shuffled because negative sign is outside, but it is one and the same thing. Okay. Next, I wanted for K. As I told you, first is plus, second should be negative, third should be positive. So what we can do right now? I will write it again. Right now, we are going to ignore what? The terms of the rows and the column which is consisting of K, as I have written K over here. So this will be ignored. So what remains? This. So I will just write first this way, right? So Px Qy minus Py Qx. So let's have check Px Qy minus Py Qx. So this is the easier one, right? So you don't need to remember all the things Px Qy, Qy Qz. No. You just have to remember this determinant and how to solve this. Okay, very easy method to remember. Now the next characteristic is actually related to this. As we have seen about vector product and we have seen all the characteristics of the same, the last characteristic says that the area of parallelogram is nothing but magnitude of the vector product. That means what I am going to say is last characteristic, area of parallelogram is magnitude of vector product. So if a question asks like find out the area of parallelogram if P bar is this, Q bar is this, what you will do? You will write in this sense, you will solve all the things and then you will take magnitude by taking the root of all of this. Okay, so in that way you can find out the area of parallelogram. So have a look at this. We are going to solve one example on the basis of this, so you will get the concept. Okay, I'm going to find out the vector product. Now see what steps I follow. Vx, Vy, Vz. No need to write this. I can just write the numbers. What is Vx? 2. What is Vy? 3. What is Vz? -1. Now again 1, 2, -3. Now we can solve. This is I into bracket. We are going to ignore this. 3 into -3, -9, minus 1 into 2, -2, minus j into bracket. Ignore this. So we will multiply this. 2 into -3, -6, minus 1 into -1, +1. No, I will write -1 first. Okay, now k plus k cap into bracket, first row this column, 2 into 2, 4, minus 3 into 1. So what I got? -9 minus of -2 will be +2. So -9 plus 2, what it comes out to be? -7. So the next one even you can find out in same way. So this is first -7i, then -6 plus 1, -5, and this minus j will plus 5j. Okay. Next, 4 minus 3 is 1. So this is very easy one. So V bar, V1 bar cross V2 bar, it comes out to be this. -7i plus 5j plus k, and it is the right answer which is given inside the exercise. Okay. So in this way you can find out the answer for all of them. Okay. So this is it for today's lecture, for today's part, which is vector product. So as I told you that we are going to see the difference that we have already discussed, but let us discuss again. In scalar product there is a cosine angle, in vector product there is a sine angle. So all the conditions get differentiated, all becomes opposite to each other, right? Inside scalar product, self dot product is 1, and in vector product self cross product is 0, right? In scalar product, when we multiply one vector to another, it becomes 0, but inside vector product it gives you the third vector. That is the main thing. Then in scalar product, it obeys the commutative law. In vector product, it does not obey the commutative law. So there are so much of difference between scalar and vector product, and this question can be asked in exam, that distinguish between scalar product and vector product. So you have to remember definition, characteristics. So if you remember definition and characteristics of both of them, so it will be really very easier part. Okay, so if you have a query against this, do comment, I will try. Thank you.